Good morning, students. Today we are going to understand the chapter Deep Water by William Douglas. In this chapter, we will learn about the author. Learning about author is very much important because this chapter has been narrated by the author himself in a form of essay. Some notes based on some facts of the chapter and the questions based on this chapter and some difficult words. So let's move to the next slide. This is all about William Douglas. He was born in 1898 and died in 1980. After graduating, post graduating, he worked as a teacher in Yakima city. The place Yakima is important because the Yakima River. After that, he met with Franklin D. Roosevelt, and he became advisor to the president. After retiring from there, he expressed his views, his feelings in form of literary notes and literary writing. The following excerpt is taken from Of Men and Mountains. It's a book written by William O. Douglas. It reveals how, as a young boy, William Douglas nearly drowned a swimming pool. In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcome it. Notice how the autobiographical part of the selection is used to support his discussion of fear. Yes, students, you must remember the name of William Douglas. He has also mentioned some places of India, not in this chapter, but in some other chapter. Being a famous uh, judge, he experienced many experience of the society, and he has mentioned in his essays. As you know, he belonged to 19th century. Therefore, that time, essay writing was considered to be one of the most important literary right. And those days, motivational aspect was considered in form of essay. So, a man and mountain is his book of essay collections, and in that essay he has mentioned a journey or life experience of William Douglas. Let's see. When you go through this chapter, you find about his life sketch. When he was a young boy of 11 years, he went along with his father to the sea beach, and there he tried to surf, but he failed because he was attacked by a heavy sea wave. He was almost taken away by the wave, but his father saved him, and after that he had a little bit fear about the water. And then after that, Othar was around 10 years old. He tried swimming in YMCA pool. This is the second episode of his life. One day, when he was 11-year old, not 10 year, 11-year old, he went to the YMCA pool, a famous pool in Yakima. There he went to try to swim. But what happened? The author tells about his old memories of learning swimming with his father at the sea beach. He was frightened about his lost breath. His introduction to YMCA revived the old unpleasant memories. You may underline this: unpleasant memory. Unpleasant memory of the YMCA pool. What happened at the YMCA pool? He tries to learn by watching other boys as they were, but there was no one except him. What happened? Meanwhile, one day he went alone at the pool. He, a muscled boy, a boy about 18 years, came to him and toasted the author. Toasted means he pushed him, he lifted him and pushed him, the author, in the deep end of the pool. Deep end of the pool. Actually, this pool was gradually deep. In the beginning, it was 3 feet, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 feet. So, the deepest part of the pool was 9 feet deep. And he was tossed off by that muscular boy of 18 into the deepest part of the pool. He was frightened and planned to hit the bottom and jump out from water. Actually, when he was outthrown into the pool or tossed into the pool, he thought he would hit the bottom and jump out from the water. He came out slowly and as saw nothing but water. But eventually it happened. He tried to jump the bottom, but his legs could not reach. So he started coming from the water slowly and slowly, just opposite of his plan. His mouth was underwater, therefore, no sound came outside the pool. He could not see anything because his mouth was underwater. He tried to bring his legs up, he wanted, but he couldn't. But he felt his legs paralyzed and rigid. Even he could not open his legs because of the water. He had this first experience. He didn't know how to swim. He was sinking to the bottom again. Then he came a little bit up, then started sinking again to the bottom. He lost all his breath. How much he could seize his breath. Then after that, he thought that his breath was about to lost. His lungs was paining because he has engulfed a lot of water. His head was throbbed. He was thinking something dizzy in his head. He was getting dizzy, means half asleep, half awakened, doing something and thinking something. But he remembered the strategy that I would spring from the bottom of the pool and came like a cock to the surface. This was his first plan, that he thought that he would sprang after kicking the bottom and he would lay flat on the surface of the water and he would come out from the water like a cock. I would like fly flat on water, strike out with my arms and thrash with my legs. Then I would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. So this was the plan made by him to come out from the pool. Sometimes the question is asked, what was plan made by William Douglas to come out from the pool? So this was his plan to come out from the pool. Whether this plan worked or not, no, this plan could not work, did not work. Why did not work? Because he could not open his legs and he could not jump, kick to the bottom. Therefore, he could not sprang from the bottom. Next important paragraph is I went down endlessly. Now I must go to sleep. Actually, from this paragraph, two questions are asked. First one is describe his frightened experience in the YMCA pool. And second question is asked how did the narrator describe the as he was about to die? So he went to the bottom. He had terror seized him. He was paralyzed underwater. Actually, he was not paralyzed, but he was thinking he was paralyzed. Paralyzed means definitely you want to do, but you are unable to move your body parts. Only his heart pounding in his head. He was feeling something in his mind, but he was unable to move his body as per his own choice. Said that I am alive. So, by this feeling in the mind, he could think as he was alive. He tried to jump, but it made no difference. So, the answer of the question is found from here. No, his plan did not work because he did not find any difference, which he could not do anything else. He was still surrounded by water. When he opened his eyes, he found water, water. This time, all efforts and fear ceased. He was moving towards peaceful death. He thought that his end was near, and now he was about to die because his lungs were filled with water and he was unable to do anything. So he was surrounded by the negative thought. He could not do anything, and that was the end of his life. He thought in his mind, I cross to oblivion the joy of canoeing, boating, and swimming. And third important question is asked, and basically this is the important question from this chapter. How did he come out from the fear of water? Actually, the writer was in peace. When he came to consciousness, he found himself lying on the side of the pool with the other boys nearby. Actually, the curator of the pool, with the help of some other boys, they took him out from the pool and he was laid down by the side of the pool. And when he started coming into the conscious, he found himself in peace. The terror that he had experienced in the pool never left him, and he was tormented, he was haunted by the pool, and this from phenomena tormented and haunted by something is called phobia. So he became water phobic, H2O phobic, and this is the phenomena of the human mind. It spoiled many of his expeditions of canoeing. He wanted to canoeing. He wanted to do some other swimming, but he could not do. Swimming and fishing, whenever he was in water, the terror returned because what was stopping him by his experiencing, by his enjoyment in the water, because the terror that had seized him in the YMCA pool. Henceforward, the writer tried to terrorize terror itself. Then one day, this line is very much important. The writer tried to terrorize terror itself. One day, he decided to defeat this terror. He wanted to came out from that terror. So he hired a trainer. Once he took courage, the terror vanquished, actually vanished. So this is the important thing in human behavior, willingness to do something. So he wills, as we are narrating in the past. So he will to overcome the fear. strong will is important. Then second important thing is endure, means to take the action. And third, persistency, regularity, continuousness in the effort. So he first of all, because of his strong will to overcome this fear, he, the step was taken by him, he hired the trainer. The experience of the writer throws some important lights on certain aspects of life. What are these? I used every way I knew to overcome. This is the endure, means the person one who has a strong willingness try every aspect, every effort to do to solve the problem, to solve the puzzle. So on the basis of his this willingness and endurance, the experience of pain or pleasure in childhood remain in the subconsciousness mind and influence our feelings later too. This is the human phenomena. Whatever we experience in the childhood, that is, it leaves a lifelong impression over our mind. The fear of water acted on the writer in the way, even after being an expert in swimming, the writer felt terror. So, with the help of the trainer, bit by bit, means first he dipped his finger in the water, he was seized by the terror. Then the trainer tied him with the rope and he put his legs in the water. Then he came down into the water, started swimming. So, bit by bit, inch by inch, day by day, month by month, he tried to overcome his fear and he became an expert swimmer. There was no reason at all. And after that, there was no reason of fear. He took courage. The fear vanished. That shows most of our fears are baseless. Fear creates dangers. These are the motivational inspiration of this chapter. Fear creates dangers where there is none. The writer's experience further confirm the proverbial truth where there is a will, there is a way. So, because of his strong will, he hired the trainer, that is his endurance, and with the help of the trainer, he became an expert swimmer. That was his persistency, though several times he was seized by the fear, but he did not allow it on himself, and then after that he became an expert swimmer. So this chapter is motivational chapter. Whenever there comes any difficulty before us, we should not give it up. We should have a strong will in ourselves. We should decide how to do, what to do, and the method comes out itself. That is the way, and we should follow the way. That is called endurance. We should not leave the way until we become successful. So, endurance and persistency. Persistency is continuousness. So, this continuousness take, takes us to the achievement to achieve the target. Some questions are based on this chapter. You will see it as I am sending this slide. You can see the question. What is the misadventure? You might have understood the word adventure. Adventure means taking delight out from risk. But sometimes taking delight out from risk becomes misadventure. So you will see the William Douglas speaks about. So that was not his adventure when he was tossed into the water, it was converted into the form of misadventure. Adventure is in itself is a pleasure. So when we take the pleasure out from the risk, it becomes adventure. And when we are surrounded by any terror, it becomes misadventure, has been given in the answer. Second important question is, why was Douglas determined to get over his fear of water? This gives inspirational, though we are going to deal this answer for the point of view of the examination. Yes, actually, he wanted to get rid from his fear. So the question should be, how did he try to get rid from his fear? Actually, he was surrounded by the fear of water, means water phobic. So he decided to get rid over it because there was a inspiration before him. He wanted to enjoy the water, water swimming, canoeing, and other things. So without target, without objectiveness, we never think the solution. So there should be a problem before us. First of all, there should be a problem before us. Then we start tackling the difficulties. So the problem before him was that he was deprived from enjoying the water experience or water enjoyment. Therefore, the important difficulty before him was that he was grabbed by the hydrophobic or water phobic, and then he tried to get rid of it. Therefore, he hired the trainer, and because of his endurance, bit by bit, inch by inch, day by day, because of his persistency, he became an expert swimmer. So you have to write in the answer, how did Douglas overcome his fear of water? So again, the answer will be, he hired the trainer, and because of his endurance and persistency, he started taking the lessons from the trainer. He started, means if we are dealing with any difficulty, we have to deal with the difficulty with full courage, willingness. Therefore, the water which was making him an afraid in his mind, he started struggling with it, not getting away from it. He started struggling with it, not getting away. Struggling with it, we are dealing with something. And getting away, escaping. Whenever there comes any difficulty, we try to escape. We try to run away from the difficulty. This is not the solution of the difficulty. This has been well discussed in this chapter. So that's why I am saying this as a is an inspirational chapter for the students and for human being also. So in this answer, you have to write, how did he hire the trainer and how, with the help of the trainer, he became an expert swimmer. I think you will go and find some difficult word when you go through this chapter. These are some difficult word like treacherous. Treacherous means something, someone cunning. YMCA Yakima River has been considered here, has been uh, called here as the treacherous river because it has engulfed so many people in it. Therefore, his mother reminded him, keeping him remind about the treacherousness of the Yakima River. Subdued my pride. Subdued means suppress. Suppress means depriving of someone from anything is called subdued. Allied at the surface, flailed at the surface like a wooden log, flawed down, as he thought that. plotting of something on the water surface, fishing for landlocked salmon. This is his experience in the sea wanted to take. Now, misadventure has been defined, as I have earlier told you. Any accident, not incident, any accident which happen, which is risky, at the place of enjoyment when it gives terror. Certain of life fly to indicate that life has ended, means that was the thought in his mind, it was working as that was the end of his life. Back and forth, it is there are it's a type of swimming. People swim like that. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you will enjoy this chapter when you go through. This is an essay and inspirational essay, and you will also apply it in your life also. Thank you and have a nice day.